Welcome to Mama Beyond Sight, and I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Welcome, welcome. Today's topic is spiritual dream interpretation. Mhm. We are going to speak about past life dreams. Have you had any? Do you know what is a past life dream? Here on Mama Beyond Sight, you will find ancestral um, messages along with tarot card ancestral messages. And I do give a yes or no session with my cowieshells, along with inspirational thought of the day. Here, Mama Beyonce, we like to think outside the box, and we have incorporated dream journaling. And I hope you will join us and let's journal together. hmm If you have any dreams that you don't understand or want to interpret one of my dreams, which I share, you are welcome to. Mama Beyonce um, welcomes you to do that. Okay, together we learn and we expand. Here on Mama Beyonce, we allow Spirit to guide us and show us the way. So if you're new here, welcome home to this wonderful community, which I call family. Um, and if you have not subscribed yet, you are welcome to do so. Mama Beyonce welcomes you. So before I get into the topic, I was asked. Oh, before I do that, an announcement. I'm almost at my milestone, 300 milestone, and we are getting ready to do a gratitude fest for all my subscribers. Just giving back a little bit of gratitude, and I'm being sponsored by Pope Bronx, aka Uncle Rico, has kindly offered. He has a great channel on here on YouTube also. He does trading cards, all types of trading cards, pokey, football, uh, cabbage, cabbage patch, and so much more. You know, he has a nice setup on his whatnot shop with amazing rare finds. So I'll leave his link in the description below. It's a very family orientated channel. It's fun and games for all types of ages. So I hope I see you there. So on to our topic. I was asked, how do we journal? How do we dream journal? And it's like a normal diary, right? What some of us have kept when we was younger, or are doing diaries now. You know, expressing your feelings. You know, if they were happy or sad, um, things that happened, things that didn't happen, etc. Dream journaling. I have suggested also when we do meditation sessions to jot down how you felt, what did you see, what you didn't see, and you know, um, what senses are you using when you're doing meditation. This shows you your I'm trying to find the word, your progress, right? And not all of us just all of a sudden go to meditation and we focus and we appear, or we see things appear, or we become relaxed instantly. This is a work in progress. So um, that's why I suggest that it's very important to journal, just like dream journaling. And again, it's just simple putting a book by your bedside and a pencil. And I say pencil because we want to use the most natural items, when we're doing dream journaling or any spiritual rituals. We always use the most pure, natural items. Um, so you keep a book by your bedside, and when you come out of that dream, you quickly jot down these things. You might not understand exactly at the moment, but as the days go by and you read, you are going to understand. And as for myself, sometimes I receive names of my guides or certain special ritual that they want me to do. And sometimes I forget. And I've noticed that these dreams, they do not repeat themselves, so you lose out, especially if you're trying to figure out a name of a spiritual guide, you know. So the importance is to have that pencil and paper by your bed or book so you could jot these things down as soon as you come into a waking state. And that's simple. you know your journal could be as long as you want or as short as you want. You want to jot down the whole dream, or you just want to jot down certain aspects that stand out to you, like colors, numbers, aromas, you know faces, etc. For me, usually there's a section of my dream that would stand out, and most of the time it makes an impact in my life that I do remember this part of the dream. I don't remember the whole thing, but I remember that part. But it doesn't happen all the time. So anyway, I don't keep a book by my bedside because many of you guys know I'm visually impaired, but I use a recorder. So if you want to use a recorder, that's fine too, you know. And jot down. That's simple. A pen. If you don't have a pencil, you could use a pen or a recorder. So there's no uh, special way to formulate your journal. Is structure in your own liking. Okay. So on to our past life dream. I'm going to give you two scenarios, maybe three. Okay. Okay. The first one, I had a dream that I was on a boat, and I saw myself in this little room, and it had two beds, but the beds were so low, not as low as our beds are today, lower, and they were like in catty corners, you know. And there was a big, beautiful chair in the middle of this room, almost king-like. It was very well adorned, had many stones and many carvings on it. It's a huge, beautiful chair. So I saw myself on one of the beds, but I was wrapped up in a white sheet. So I was looking around the room trying to figure out where I was at, and I could see a window behind this big, beautiful chair. So I slowly got up and I looked out the window, And to my amazement, I was on a boat. And the boat seemed like back in the time when the pirates, uh, they had those boats with those big points and the end looked like a big arch backwards. So I heard some footsteps coming towards me. So I ran back in the bed, and this big white, black hair, long hair, gorgeous man, very well built, I might say, walked into the room and just sat in the chair. And I noticed that he had these big cuffs on his wrist, on each wrist. They had to be a good maybe 6 to 10 inches wide. They look solid gold on each um, wrist. I could see like a small iron plate on his chest, and I could see that he was wearing some black clothing. He also had some big planks on his ears, on each ear. Could say they were earrings, but I'm not sure. But they look very heavy. And he sat on the chair and he just looked at me and smiled and just kept staring at me. Big, beautiful, dark eyes, very hairy man. And I turned to him and I asked him, I don't know why I did, but I asked him, am I allowed to go to the dinner party? And he gently said no and walked out the room. So, me being creative as I am, I got up and I said, I'm going to the dinner party. And when I looked at myself again, I had this beautiful black gown, puffy, um, um, on my shoulders. The sleeves were puffy, long sleeve, covered almost my whole entire hand, and beautiful gown. My hair was wrapped up in a bun, and I noticed that I had these. They looked like stockings, but it seemed like there was something hard on the bottom of the stocking, like there was a wooden plank under it. So I left the room and I went into the dining room, and there were many people there, and everybody said hi, and we was being sociable. And I sat on the table, and there were quite a few men um, expressing, how lovely I was, and I was very pretty, etc. And all of a sudden, I heard a grunt and a bang, and when I looked, there was like a cup, a big cup that was thrown. When I looked up, there was like a balcony looking over the dinner table, and the man that I saw in the beginning was sitting up there, and he looked very angry. So I quickly got up from the chair and I ran out and I went back into the room. And when I got into the room, I was met by three women, two younger women and an older woman. They were dressed very simply. And they pushed me down on the bed, and the older woman grabbed one of the pillows and she put it over my face and held me down. All I remember was my legs shaking up and down. And then I woke up. Yeah. So I've had that dream many of times, and more parts of that dream that I don't remember, but I have such a connection to that time of Renaissance or medieval time. I have some type of connection to that, you know. Um, And then the other dream that I had was I was walking up these stone. um I was like in a castle, and I was walking up these stairs that were made of solid stone, but the stairways was like in a curve, in a spiral, and I got up all the way to the top, and the little room was empty, but there was a big window. So I leaned towards the window, and I could see people walking around, and I could see right under the window there was horses. You know that thing that the horses drink from? That was right under the window, and the horses were drinking water. And all of a sudden, I felt a bang on my back. I felt two hands on my back. And then I saw myself going down, down. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to die. I was pushed out the window. I could see I had some type of gown on that was yellow. And I woke up before I hit the floor. Yeah, that was strange. But what's more strange is a couple of years after that, I had went to Puerto Rico, maybe for the first or the second time that I went to Puerto Rico, with my sister and mother, etc. And we went to this place in San Juan, near the Pella, that's called the Morro. It's a big castle that's almost at the edge of the waters, right? So we got into this building, if you want to call it, this castle, and there was big, humongous rooms, beautiful rooms, but made of stone. So anyway, my sister tells me, come this way so we could go up to the tower. So I follow her, and when I got to the steps, I had like a deja vu thing. As I'm walking further up the stairs, that it starts curving like in a swirl. I was like, oh no, wait, this is creepy. I been here before. And as soon as I got into the last step, that it opened up to that little room, and I saw the window, I was starting to get nervous. I was telling my sister, oh my God, wait, I've been here before. She was like, oh no, that's impossible, because this is the first time you come here. I said, I've been here before. Okay, I could tell you was on the right hand and the left hand side. And over here, there's another opening where there's a pier, where there's another tower or another building. And she was like, oh, how could you know that? You never been here. I said, I don't know. I know, but that's what it is. And when we walked towards that door, exactly what I described, there it was. So I was having deja vu. I have dreamt of this before. So I think in one of my lifetimes, I was pushed out that window. And unfortunately, a couple of my lifetime, I was, um, yeah, I was taken out of here early for some reason. I don't know. But how could we find out, how more facts of these past lives, dreams? Some of them you might be able to, and some of them, it takes time and hard research. you know I am working on doing research on the dream with the mohoro, you know because I don't think I'm going to be able to follow through and go back in time with the pirate ship. I guess we will need more details, right? If you get names of a place or name of the person, you know, and you could figure out more or less the year that this happened, uh, you could trace it back and see who that was, or how does it fit in your lifetime, right? It's interesting, I've had a couple of spiritualists tell me that I've had a couple of lives already. In one of my lifetime, I've never tried to trace it, but maybe I will. In one lifetime, I was a male. Yeah, I was a male. And unfortunately, I was told that my life was cut short also. I hope I was a good person. I do. And then in another lifetime, uh, and I feel that this is maybe my lifetime before this. Um, there were four of us. We were four twins, and my mother was my sister at that lifetime, and I had two other sisters. And when we was born, two of my sisters in that lifetime stood in spirit, and my mother and myself was born. Yeah. And we switched places. I was instead of the sister and sister, she was my mother, and or she is my mother, and I'm her daughter. Isn't that interesting? Has that happened to you? Have you been told that? Hmm? Do you have any past life dreams that you feel in your heart and heart? This is a glimpse of who I was in previous lives. You know, do you think that's possible? Yeah. The feeling is the sensation of knowing, in your hearts of heart, not only that glimpse of deja vu, but things from that era, uh, the path so well that is eerie even for yourself. you know so have you had any of those feelings? Share them out with the community. Let's talk about it. It's interesting. Yeah. So past lives dream journaling um is our topic, and we could explore a little bit more. All right, my lovelies. So with that, I say don't forget to check out our sponsor, Poke Bronx, aka Uncle Rico. Go over there and subscribe. Check out his Whatnot shop, and he has a lot of nice items up in there, and he's very reasonable. He's loving, caring, good wit. He's funny, and he loves to share out his platform with you. So, and Mama Beyonce also. Don't forget. Mama Beyonce welcomes you home. And with that, I bid you be blessed and be well, my lovelies. Until the next video. Remember, a small star in a dark sky shines brightly. I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Come on. Come on, nobody's looking. Come on, if you don't subscribe, I'm going to stop doing the kissy face. So, hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button right there. It says free. Mama Beyonce. Smooches. Later.